So a big pet peeve for everyone is when someone doesn't read their own email messages to catch any errors before they hit send. And in this short video, we'll go over how and why you should read your email messages once for a content check before you send them. So let's start with why reread your emails. That's because there is always a chance that you'll have a content mistake in your message. And note, what I mean here is not spelling or grammar mistakes. I really think spelling or grammar mistakes can be forgiven even though they are an annoyance. However, content mistakes are a little bit different. Content mistakes include things such as replying to the wrong question, stating the facts incorrectly, or adding in the wrong date. And those type of mistakes misrepresent what you want to say and usually have the worst consequences. So if I say yes when I mean no, or I state June 9th when I meant July 9th, then the consequences there are different than when I misspell a specific word. And 95% of those mistakes can be easily avoided if you just reread your emails at least once before you send them. And people usually state that they're way too busy to reread an email. And my packaged answer is that if you don't have the time to read your emails again, then when will you have the time to write them again? And that's because if you do have a content mistake in one of your emails, you're going to spend a lot more time clarifying and updating your recipients on correcting that mistake. So it's definitely a lot faster to just reread your email than having to worry about retyping it again. And in the next couple of slides, we'll talk about a couple of tips that will help you with that. So the first tip is to reread your entire email. So reread your entire email before you click on the send button. Not a portion of it or just the actions within it, but all of it. And that's because the curse of knowledge will rear its ugly head again if you just glance over specific sections. Now, the curse of knowledge was a concept we talked about in an earlier video, and what I mean by that is your message might be clear in your own mind, but unless you put yourself in your reader's shoes and reread the whole email from top to bottom, you won't catch those content mistakes. And some of the things you want to double check include names, acronyms, time zones, and any other important dates. The second tip is to reread questions and answers. So if you're replying back to questions, reread the questions and your answers, not just the answers, to help ensure that your responses make sense before you reply. And a good practice is to add context in your answers for validation, particularly with important information. So for example, instead of replying back with just an okay, type the following instead. Okay, I'm confirmed to meet you on Thursday at 10 a.m. October 20th. And this is not only reassuring, but it gives the other party an extra chance to correct something if they made the content error. So in this specific example, if someone sends me an email saying, hey, let's meet on Thursday at 10 a.m. October 20th, and I reply back and I say, okay, I'm confirmed to meet you on Thursday at 10 a.m. October 20th. If they made an initial mistake and said, oh, it's not really October, it's November 20th, it'll give them that sort of extra chance to correct that. And moreover, adding context to your answers is a good habit because if there are multiple questions in that email and you just reply with an okay, you might be inadvertently agreeing to everything in that message. All right, let's wrap up with a quick summary. Reread your entire email for a content check before you hit send and check things like names, time zones, and any other important information. And then if you're replying back to questions, make sure you reread both the questions and the answers. Thanks so much for watching, and on to the next video.